Washington State governor candidate assaulted at 24-hour fitness, almost drowned, and then charged with assault by the Redmond, Washington Police Department. Coming up next on Deceptions of the Ages News. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Deceptions of the Ages News. I am your host, Governor Candidate for Washington State, Matthew D. Heines. Now, one of the reasons I'm running for governor of Washington State is this. In November, it was November 1st of 2019, I was at 24-hour fitness, and I was going to swim in a lane. And this guy tells me, I can't swim in that lane. I have to swim in the other lane. Well, because it's 24-hour fitness, the other lane is going to fill up with old people. And the other lane on the other side, that's full of these women that do aerobics in a class that doesn't start for like half an hour until 9:30, but they come in early, and all of their oils and perfumes and deodorants and whatever else those women are wearing, makeup, it all goes in the pool. So what does that do? Well, here, take a look. All right, so I get assaulted in this pool. This guy tells me I can't swim there, and then a week later, or a few days later, I go in, and I'm just finishing up my swim. This guy, I'm turning around, tries to kick me in the face with a pair of hard plastic flippers. I go and I do a lap. I come back to the other lane, and this guy, unbeknownst to me, has gotten in ahead of me, and I don't know how he did it, but right before I touched the wall, he got out of the way and pushed water my way, so that I'm looking at a wave of water and a pair of these swim fins, these hard plastic swim fins that are just about kicking me in the face, so I got to get out of the way. So I stopped the guy and I told him, you don't swim 3 to the lane here because it's too small. And this guy just goes off. He says, it's not my pool, and starts yelling at me and comes at me. So, having received my subpoena, I received a couple of things in it, but the one thing of note here is that my notice date is the 28th of January, and my citation date is the 4th of November. You do the math on that one. It took them, I haven't heard from anybody for months, and I'm the one who filed the initial assault complaint. So I haven't heard from anybody for months, but suddenly I have a hearing on the 11th of February. So you do the math on that one. It's about less than 2 weeks. And so basically it's really just 1 week. So when do you get a summons to have a subpoena for a court date where you have 1 week to get ready, and this crime could be very serious and result in substantial jail time, fines, and other penalties for you, according to the Hale Law Firm. It sounds pretty serious, yes? So I really need to get an attorney. And luckily, I have this friend in the Hale Law Firm. So the first thing I need to do, though, is I need to send out my explaining what happened. And so that is what I did. I wrote out a 2-page letter. I explained the health conditions of the pool, as well as explaining what actually happened and how I was assaulted. And so I sent these out so that everybody would know what was happening, and that, this is going to be a great case for suing 24-Hour Fitness. So I put my letters out, and just some of the highlights in there. I just put in my letter about I had notified the Redmond Police Department, who did not even bother to contact me. I canceled my membership at the gym. Told them I told them I'd sue them for breach of contract, and waited and wanted my money back. I then stopped payment so they couldn't dip into my account, which they have been known to do to get their money after people cancel memberships. All right, so the next thing I heard about this was last week. This was after I went home and called the police. That was November 4th. So it's January 28th, and actually we got the notice on Monday. Or on Friday, so there's the weekend. So it's anyway. My question is, I was assaulted and filed a complaint, and was never followed up on. Yet I am charged with assault. Why? Because I'm a veteran, or we are too poor to afford an attorney to defend ourselves. I'm being charged with assault when I was trying to defend myself against a hostile individual, and it's all on the camera. So I don't know what is going on here. I never assaulted anyone in my life, so there must be something else going on here. Sorry, my glasses on. This is so small writing. Something else going on here, and that is why I want to sue the Redmond Police Department, the city of Redmond, for reckless endangerment, denying my civil rights, harassment, and using the law illegally to terrorize a citizen for filing a complaint. And so there are 3 reasons, I think, out of this list for me to be charged with assault. The Redmond Police Department is dishonest and corrupt, and I had left out incompetent. This is a political hack job, because the date on the subpoena is the date I posted my run for governor on a post on Facebook. This is a racist attack on me because I am white. I don't know if that really is it, but it sounds kind of, I don't know. At the time I was pissed off. Anyway, because you can't get any benefits here, and they're chasing all of us off. Anyway, so this is an attack on my wife and I, my wife who was an immigrant from Delhi, India, and because we don't have money. So the last thing I think this is a shakedown to get business for the lawyers in Redmond. Now, let's just see if that is true at all. So I get a hold of my friend and my hero, who's going to help me out after telling me, quote, yes, this crime could be very serious and result in substantial jail time, fines, and other penalties for you. You need an experienced, aggressive criminal attorney to defend you if you are charged with a crime. And apparently, I've been charged with a crime. All right, so I need this guy, right? So let's just send him a mail and see what happens. Oh, no, look at that. Matt, sorry, Matt, I can't help you with this. And then I asked them, can you please explain why I received your information with this subpoena? It says you can help. What is your relationship with the Redmond courts, and why did you send me a flyer with a bunch of threatening language on it, then tell me you can't help me? How did you get my information in the first place? If you refuse to help me and don't tell me why, I will report this all to the Attorney General and report you to the Washington Bar Association. So Matthew Hale of Hale Law Enterprises tells us it's pretty much a shakedown. Sorry, Matt, I have received the case, and I am a small firm and can only handle a certain number of cases at a time. You can contact the Public Defender's Office. I wish you the best on that. See, he has a little joke thrown in there because they know this is also a shakedown. So my reply is, well, maybe you shouldn't send out flyers to people that are in trouble. It's pretty dodgy. And then I finally realized that they weren't going to, the sentence that says, I wish you the best on that. It just means that if you want any justice in this, in Redmond, Washington, when you're falsely accused of a crime, then you got to pay for it. But let's just go on, because there are other law firms that there's not just the Hale Enterprises. I went through the internet and I found the law offices of Magnuson and Lowell. Experienced lawyers committed to your needs. And then I sent them a mail and I received, we have just been contacted by Matthew Heines. End of story. All right, well, let's just keep going now. There is the Dubin Law Group, and well, guess what? Unfortunately, based on the information we have received, i.e. you don't have any money, we're unable to assist in this matter. In deciding to undertake this matter, our firm is not expressing an opinion on the merits of the underlying claim. We encourage you to seek a second opinion, and you should not refrain from pursuing attorney representation for this claim. If you don't have another attorney to call, we suggest you try the Washington Bar Association, who is going to tell you that they do not assign attorneys. So, the amount of time that has passed here with all of this has been, it's getting on an hour or so, maybe over an hour. So going back to, I cannot find, at this point in time, I've done everything trying to find an attorney. So, and then going back to the Hale Law Firm's claimed I'm in a lot of trouble and I need an attorney. And then going back to the King County Department of Public Defense, upholding the Constitution, one client at a time, it says you will likely have a better outcome if you discuss your case with your attorney as soon as possible. All right, so this is I've got a little over a week to get to my people together, to get my witnesses together, people that will vouch for me, people at the gym. It's not going to be easy, so I need to get going on this. So anyway, I got turned down by all these other lawyers, so now I'm getting desperate. So now it is... let's see, we don't want that part. Yes, we do want that part. Okay, so it's Monday. Let's see, it is 8 days to court. And so we've been through, so this is picking up after I've been denied by all the other attorneys. Okay, so now I'm getting desperate, and now it's time to look at the public defender as a possible option. Now, we all know that the public defender is not going to defend you. The public defender is going to do as little work as possible for maximum profit. We all know that. And so without being able to find representation, then I'm really kind of, having my doubts about this whole thing. So now, I have, it's Monday still, so at 10 o'clock by that time, I called the public defender's office as they instructed, and they said that they had to do a screening. So all the lines are busy. It's later in the afternoon because I'd spent all that time trying to find a lawyer. So I left a message, and it said, because the lines were busy, they said an operator would call you back. Well, they don't call you back. So then... the next day, okay, so now it is, so on Monday I received no call back. So then it is Tuesday, February 4th, and it is exactly 1 week to go to court. So at 10 a.m. I called the King County Department of Public Defense. All the lines were busy. Again, I left a message with that number, 206-477-9727, for a call back. And then no attorney. So 11 a.m. I sent an official complaint to the Attorney General's office. I sent them my details of the case and the fact that I could not get any representation. And by this time, with 1 week out, and I'm going to go to jail, face substantial fines that I don't have for assaulting somebody that assaulted me, I'm really stressing out because this is a complete and total shakedown. And we have no money to be shaken out of us. So I filed a complaint with the U.S. Attorney's Office in Seattle, and I sent press releases to news organizations. And then a few hours later, I received a call back from the Public Defense, King County Department of Public Defense, and they are upholding the Constitution one client at a time. So they put me through a screening process to see if I'm poor enough to receive legal assistance, and luckily I am. So the King County Department of Public Defense, upholding the Constitution one client at a time, instructs me to call the offices of Stein, Lotzgar, and Starr, PS, on Thursday morning to schedule an appointment. Now, let me just take you back to what the public notice says from King County. It says that you need to contact your attorney as soon as possible and not wait until the last date. So I have to wait until Thursday to call them. So I say, okay, well, I guess it's taken care of. I've got an attorney, so things are looking better. On Thursday morning, as I was instructed, I called the offices of Stein, Lotzgar, and Starr. And I'm instructed, they don't even want to talk to me. I'm supposed to call them on Monday morning, and one of their attorneys is going to meet me in court on Tuesday. So now, I'm being charged with a crime where where I didn't commit, and now I am supposed to be getting an attorney, and the attorney doesn't even want to talk to me until basically I go to court. So I am very apprehensive about all of this. So what I do is I contact the Attorney General's office by phone, and the clerk there, after some discussion, told me to call the King County Municipal Court and tell them I'm having a problem getting an attorney. So I contacted the Redmond court and told them I'm having trouble getting an attorney. The first person I spoke to did not speak English well enough to understand. I asked to be transferred. I was put on hold and no one picked up. I tried calling again, got the same person, and then finally got the court clerk named Todd Bandazzi. Mr. Bandazzi told me if I didn't like the public defender, I should get an attorney of my own. This is what every attorney was telling me the whole time, so tell me this is not rigged. Now, with court just a few days away, I began to realize it was a shakedown. Unless I paid money, I was not going to have access to adequate legal representation. Just like in communist Russia and China, the government here is using the courts to shake down people who cannot fight back. Desperate, I called the VA crisis/suicide line. After a series of irrelevant questions trying to get data from me, I was transferred and then put on hold. Desperate, I called back a few minutes later, and the bottom line I found out was the VA will refer you to attorneys that you must pay for. No wonder a veteran commits suicide every 20 minutes. With no place else to turn, I have no legal counsel. I will go to court either poorly represented or not represented at all. This is the plight of all the poor people of America who fall into legal trouble. The legal system is nothing but a predatory institution that neither stops crime, deters it, or in most cases, even solves it. There's a better way. Matthew Heines for Washington State Governor. Remember, hindsight is 20/20, and hindsight in 2020. So, this is Deceptions of the Ages News. I'm Matthew Heines, governor candidate in Washington State, and we, my friends, will see you next time.